Show, don't tell. What does it mean? We'll find out together in this video. In the world of music, sometimes words aren't necessary to convey emotions. Your musical choices can be much louder. And take the major and minor keys, for instance. We perceive major keys as cheerful and minor keys as melancholic, perception which is deeply rooted in our cultural background. While there's no strict rule dictating this, it's a common language we share with our audience. Beyond these cultural nuances, there are some more universal gestures in music that resonate across diverse backgrounds. And consider a scale moving upwards. It creates a sense of ascension, even though it's merely notes ascending in pitch, not physically like climbing. So there is no real correlation between a frequency getting higher in pitch and my arm traversing the y-axis in space. Why not the x or the z? Or imagine a single powerful staccato chord reverberating across the entire orchestra. It's akin to a strike, perhaps even a punch. And this perception stems from a complex interplay of factors such as pitch, dynamics, volume, the use of sonic mass, the strategic placement of silences between the notes. These choices, whether culturally specific or more universally understood, form the language of music, enabling composers to communicate without uttering a single word. Sort of. I don't want to dive into the historical details of musical rhetoric or its evolution. There are really plenty of YouTube videos that cover that. What I do want is to share a personal story from my journey as a composer. In 2021, during the peak of the COVID situation, I took part in an online choir composition workshop in Graz, Austria. And our task was to create a short piece based on a poem that didn't have copyright restrictions. The selected pieces will be performed at the festival there, and I was lucky enough, as it sometimes happened in my life, that my composition was chosen, and that allowed me to present a good recording and a good recording for you to hear today. But why did I pick this piece for this video? I chose it because in its simplicity of 2 or 3 minutes, it demonstrates the concept of show, don't tell through music. I used musical choices to convey the essence of the poem, the content, the emotion, the atmosphere. The composition I want to talk about is called A Dream Within a Dream for 8 voices, SATB, DVZ, inspired by Edgar Allan Poe's poem with the same title. In order to understand my musical choices here, we first have to look at the text. The poem is split in 2 parts. The first part depicts a dream, and the second part portrays the poet dreaming within the initial dream, like a sort of Gothic-themed Inception. And here comes the good part. What's fascinating is the symmetry in the text. Both parts end with the same phrase. This symmetry sparked a musical idea. Instead of having the choir sing the poem in a linear fashion, I imagine overlapping the 2 parts, having the choir sing both the first and the second parts simultaneously. And this creates a continuous musical stream where the distinction between the 2 parts blurs, and it's mirroring the experience of living a dream within another dream. The intentional convergence of both parts into the concluding phrase, a dream within a dream, adds quite a bold conclusion, you know, and despite starting with disjointed singing, the choir merges into the final sentence, which is providing a clear and satisfying closure. This layered and intertwined musical structure aims to capture the essence of the poem vision. Let's have a look at the piece more closely. In this composition, again, 8 SATB voices DVZ, I introduced the piece with a suspended, unspoken harmony, which has a U vowel from the singers. And this subtle start embodies the concept of a dream within a dream, which is something evanescent, and a notion that takes shape only when all layers are added. After these deliberate, slow, harmonic moments, we have an imitation episode. Imitation is basically a moment in which one voice is saying something and the other one follows, you know, and they're kind of replying to each other. So here, for example, voices echo one another and the text is shared among the singers. So, for instance, you have alto 1 and tenor 1 saying, "Take this kiss upon the brow and imparting from you now," while alto 2, tenor 2, and soprano 2 respond with "I stand amid the roar and I hold within my hand on a surf-tormented shore." This interplay of voices showcases how the texts overlap, and it's blurring the lines between interpretations and creating this complex narrative. And in the next part of the composition, the imitation episode progresses until a point where the two distinct groups briefly come together, emphasizing this interrogative almost phrase, this suspenseful "and yet." And this marks the end of the first half of the piece. In the second part, an ascending sequence begins, reaching its peak with the overlapping phrases "in a vision" versus "pitiless wave." That it's followed by the contemplative and kind of reflective line, "Is it therefore the less gone?" And in the end, the composition comes full circle, mirroring its beginning. The same harmonies from the introduction resurface, but this time the singers don't just articulate the single vowel, but they singing the concluding lines, "All that we see or seem, it's but a dream within a dream." And the others say, "Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream?" So with a question mark in the end. And there you have the complete piece. I hope you enjoyed this composition and the video, and as always I thank you for watching. You will be probably happy to know that around the same time this video is released, my new 25 minutes composition for choir, this time for female choir, is having its world premiere always in Austria, by the way. And if you're curious and want to know more, it's a very beautiful and haunting piece. You can find the link in the new piece in the description. Thanks again for watching. Catch up later.